Hi folks, and welcome to the Truck King YouTube channel. For 2022, the Ram 1500 is not radically changed. Instead, the engineers are massaging it, refining it, and adding some new technology to make it better. So in this video, we're gonna find out if it actually is better for this model year. Plus, we're going to do a long distance fuel economy run, so make sure you stay tuned.
There's this girl.
Let's start with the walk around, and one of the things that has not changed for 2022, the engine. This is still a 5.7 liter HEMI V8, sending its 395 horsepower and 410 pound-feet of torque through an 8-speed automatic. But there is something new going on under the hood. That is this Ram Airflow cold air intake. This is special with the GT package, and although Ram doesn't publish a power boost, you got to assume this plus a catback exhaust is probably getting you 10, 15 horsepower, something like that. So this truck you're actually looking at right here, this is a Ram 1500 Sport Night Edition with the GT package. So the Night Edition means you're getting the blacked out grille, blacked out badges, blacked out wheels, and these are 22s. Now, once you check the GT package, you're getting things like this Sport Edition hood, you're getting GT decals back there on the corners, special GT seats on the inside, and you know what? Right now, let's go ahead and take a listen to this truck because this exhaust makes the HEMI sound pretty tough. Looking at the back end of the truck, there is one new addition here, the first thing I want to point out, and it's this small little strip of LED lights underneath this handle, which are shining down on that hitch. That means if you are hitching up at night, you're going to be able to see what you're doing. I appreciate that. Now, this is not new this year, but I'll show it off. This Ram does have the split tailgate feature. And when I first saw this, I was skeptical. I didn't really think it was that practical. I didn't think I would use it. I've lived with this truck now for 2 weeks straight, and every time I load something in the bed, I split that tailgate, just get it out of the way, right? So it's actually kind of convenient. And then Matthew and I, my brother, we went and we loaded this truck up with a whole bunch of toolboxes, and the whole time we had the tailgate split, it was just easier not to have to reach over it. So having lived with it a little longer, I actually do kind of like this split tailgate idea. And don't forget, this truck too has the Ram boxes, and that really helped too when we were loading up all those loose tools. Time for payload now. Here on the door jamb sticker, 1,181 pounds. Really not a great number for a half-ton truck. Okay folks, so here we are driving in this Ram 1500 GT. And Dad, I'm not sure we can say anything about this HEMI that hasn't been said before. You know, it hasn't really changed. Besides that cold air intake, so why don't you put your foot into it and let's feel it and hear it. It sounds good. That's a nice sounding V8. I don't know if it sounds or if it feels more powerful than before.
There's a little bit there.
You think so?
It definitely stretches its legs.
Nice. Yeah, and it does sound really, really nice. So for a GT truck, you know, more of a sport truck, I think that's a really nice addition here. This truck has a head-up display. It has this rear camera mirror up here. It's got the trailer steering system, Ram's trailer steering. And those are really the big changes from a drivability point of view. So why don't you talk to me about those? Let's first talk about this mirror up here. What do you think?
Well, let's talk about them as add-ons. This is all stuff that showed up on the TRX last year. So, but on the other hand, this is all stuff that's available on everybody else's trucks. So once again, catch up. However, to answer your specific question, the mirror, rear view mirror camera, I don't like it.
Fair enough. Yeah, I've kind of gotten used to them, so I do drive with it on. I still think the best part of it is that you can just go ahead and switch it off. So if you don't like it, then you don't need to use it.
Yeah, there's a certain amount of distortion with the camera in terms of depth perception, which is something I don't like. I mean, okay, if I got something up in the bed that's gonna obstruct my normal rear view mirror, maybe it's a good thing. On the other hand, I don't know. I grew up driving with side mirrors, so it's okay. It's an old guy thing. I don't care about this.
Okay, fair enough. The next one, head-up display. I can't imagine how anyone could ever not like a head-up display. I love it. I think it just makes the information more accessible, makes the vehicle more safe. Yeah, all good things on head-up display, right?
Yeah, I'm 100% on board with that. Anything that keeps your eyes on the road. That's what I love about head-up display. You get basic information and you never have to take your eyes off the road, because there's so many friggin' distractions in all these trucks now.
Sure.
Because you just can't touch things on this center stack without looking. You know, that's the one thing where knobs still work for me, because I can reach and touch a knob without actually having to look at it. So head-up display, 10-4, all for it.
Now the third one, and we're not going to use it in this video, but we have used it, we did it with the TRX, is this Ram trailer steering system.
Yep.
Very simply, turn the knob left, your trailer will go left, turn the knob right. Your trailer will go right and you don't touch the steering wheel. The one advantage to Ram system over Ford, you don't have to measure anything. You literally go out there, you take a left turn and a right turn, the truck measures your trailer and it does it all for you. So in that perspective, I think it's great. My word of advice, I've always said this, do not own a trailer if you can't back it up without a safety system. Buying a truck like this and relying on that, I think, is a mistake. However, it does work really, really well. So as long as you kind of know what you're already doing, yeah, it takes some stress out of backing up.
Yeah, you should learn what the geometry and the physics is as far as the trailers are concerned. But you know what? I accept the fact that there are some people who, you know, they got two left feet, man. They can't figure it out. So does that mean that they should never be able to tow a trailer? Well, this solves that problem.
Yep. And best usage case, I think you said this to me, if you're ever lending your truck to your buddy and you don't want him to jackknife your trailer because he's got no clue, for the one time he does it, well, there you go, he's got the system.
Good point. And on the other hand, make him buy his own damn truck.
And then one last thing, Dad, I forgot to mention this, is this shifter down here. Yep. So on the TRX, Ram introduced this console-mounted shifter down here rather than the knob shifter that they've had up on the dash for a number of years now, right? And when the knob first came out, the comments were clear. A lot of people didn't like it, just simply from a physicality point of view. Just this doesn't feel as good as this does. I never cared. For me, it's all about function. Personally, I liked the knob because it freed up space. It allowed Ram to do that reconfigurable cup holder thing, and their center stack was always the best, and their console I always thought was one of the best. In my opinion, this is worse than the knob. This is less practical, takes up more space, and I don't really care about the feeling of it. I don't care about the way it looks. I just want a truck that is more utility focused. So in my opinion, I don't like it. What do you think?
Yeah, and it's kind of surprising to me for someone in your age bracket who kind of glosses over the simple effect that this is all about fashion. This is about looks. This is about, you know, I like the way it looks, it feels, it just makes me happy. It doesn't matter that it's not practical.
Sure.
And frankly, there's a lot of that in every single truck that we buy. So the manufacturers realize that past the practicality aspect of a pickup truck, I mean, this is why trucks come with 7, 8 different trim levels, because we dress them up until the purchaser gets there and goes, oh my God, I gotta have this. It's so beautiful. He doesn't even know what his weights are, could care less, but it's beautiful. And that's the thing with the shifter. To your point, what is your problem?
I don't know what that one was.
That was cool. Anyway, to your point, what the issue was with the rotary shifter, it's not a rational thing, But you know what? If enough people come out against it, a manufacturer will sit down and say, look, we're going to offer an alternative. Because even if it's only 10% that don't like it, 10% who are maybe going someplace else because of it, so then give them a regular shifter.
Sure.
That's what they've done.
Yep.
It's not because it's better. It's just choice. You got to have choice.
And to be clear, the knob is still available. This is a GT package thing. So if you get this kind of sport truck, you'll get this shifter. All the rest of the Ram 1500s, they're still going to have the knob shifter too. Now it's time for a long distance fuel economy run. We're going to put over 250 kilometers on this Ram. We're going to pick up some toolboxes. So let's see how the HEMI does. We'll go over to our trip here and reset it. And now we're good to go.
Zeros across the board. Oh, we better get rolling. We're already counting in the parking lot.
She's used to writing songs. She thinks that she doesn't, but she's able to run. And in this woman, she have the world.
Okay, we just pulled in here to pick up these toolboxes. That means we're halfway down. We've done 129.3 kilometers and we've managed 12.6 liters per 100. And that's all cruising at a comfortable 90 to 100 kilometers per hour. And for the US folks, we will switch it over to MPG US. That's 18.5 MPG. It's funny, the distance didn't change, just the MPG changed. You can actually do them separately. That's not usually the case. So that was 80 miles, 18.5 MPG. And now we'll load up the bed, we'll head home, and we'll let you know what it gets once we get there.
That's all she said.
Alright folks, so we're just arriving here at our destination. I'm just backing her in. And now we can see we did another 128 kilometers. And this time we were at 14.8 liters per 100. So having all that weight in the back did make our fuel economy a little bit worse. And now I can also go over here and we'll switch it over to MPG so you can see. So earlier we were at about 18 MPG. This run we were at about 15.8. There's another update that arrived for 2022 here on the 1500. So as of now, you can no longer get a quad cab above the bighorn trim. So if you want the quad cab, you have to get a tradesman or a bighorn. Everything else is crew cab only. And I don't think this is a surprising move, Dad, just because we all know crew cabs are the vast majority of the market, especially at the top end. I always feel like if you're spending $80,000 on a truck, you probably want the biggest truck you can get. So yeah, again, not surprising, but it does technically push up the base price by about $2,000 on all those trucks because the quad cab was always a little bit cheaper.
Yeah, except that nobody was ordering it, so essentially no, it doesn't.
Fair enough, yeah. And finally, let's just go over some of the pricing details really quick on this truck. So we've been mentioning the GT package. Here in Canada, that is gonna cost you $3,495. I basically went over everything. I didn't mention though, you also get the 392 rear end. So you do get a bit of a beefier axle ratio, help you put that power into the ground. Now the night edition, that's gonna set you back $1,500 by itself. And then Dad also mentioned the things in here we talked about, the technology. Those are options. So if you want this rear view mirror camera and you want the head-up display, that's $1,600 Canadian. So yes, these things are great, but they are a little bit pricey. Overall, the truck you are looking at right here as it sits has an MSRP of $89,000 Canadian, which, what can you say? It feels expensive, but it also doesn't feel out of place in today's truck market. Well folks, that is the end of this video. Now sure, it's a little bit sad that there is less choice in the Ram lineup for 2022, but realistically, they just eliminated things that nobody was really buying anyways. And then what they've added here, all of those features minus the shifter, they really do make the truck better and easier to use on a day-to-day basis. Well, folks, like I said, that's it for this one. Now, please go below into the comments. Let me know what you think of this Ram. As always, while you're down there, don't forget to hit like, hit subscribe, hit join to become a member of the Truck King family, and then come right back here to the channel to see what we're testing next. See ya.